If you build it, they will come. Let's play ball. Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is Leading Off. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pizzapia. That, of course, is Dinger Dan Harris. Not one, but two Dinger Dan Harris. And it's you. And we're talking all things baseball today. That's right. Dan Harris got off the schneid yesterday in a big way. Finally, I sprinkled a little of the magic dust on Danny Harris. That's what I did. It. We're going to talk a little history today. We got a Field of Dreams game, baseball in the corn. We've also got some big-time pitching performances, and we're going to redraft the first round one more time, like we did a few months ago, to see where we're at. And spoiler alert, I don't know if a pitcher is going to go in the first round. I just don't see it happening, which is pretty amazing turnaround from where we were in February. Good morning, Dan Harris. How are you?
I'm doing well, Joe. It was a good night of baseball. A lot of homers, and of course, George Springer goes yard twice, gets me back in the game a little bit ahead of Mayer, which we know is the only thing I care about in life at this moment. My kids, my wife, none of that matters. Finishing ahead of Mayer is really all I care about. So it's a great day.
Good stuff. Let me tell you, man. And I told you Springer was my guy yesterday, and I took him off there, and then you picked him, and my rain option, but it didn't end up getting rained out, so there you go. So after all that, but it would have been nice, because then we could have celebrated it together, and you were so against going full Thelma and Louise on George Springer with me, and you wouldn't do it. I have an important question to ask you too. What's it like hosting a show 5 days a week with the most annoying human on the planet, Joe Pizzapia? Because apparently that is something that was in the YouTube comments in yesterday's show. I just wanted to know, what's that about? How you feel about that?
It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's kind of like part of my job. So there are always parts of every job that you hate. So you just got to suck it up and do it. So
it's a good answer.
I've learned to live with it. Thanks.
It's a good spot. You know what?
Thanks.
I feel like I love it. I love when the trolls come out of the caves and say hilarious things like that. It makes
Was that live during our?
It wasn't live. I don't think it was afterwards.
It was
Mike Mayer found it and posted it in Discord. And let me just tell you, when you asked me, I was like, listen, when you come here to Fantasy Pros, you got to do Discord. And I was like, okay. And I had done Discord before, and it was a little like overwhelming, stuff like that. And I got to tell you, Discord of Fantasy Pros has been outstanding. It really has. I was in that mock draft room last night, chatting up with everybody, hanging out. You were in there as well. The Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks. It's a beautiful place. If you haven't been, go there, because that's the place for the rest of the stretch to get all your fantasy baseball information and discussion points, to ask us questions, to get a hold of us with football season around the corner. So make sure you go to fantasypros.com/discord, join that. Also in the offseason,
fantasypros.com/chat.
That's chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just like Discord so much.
But make that your pitch is absolutely correct, Joe. Yeah. This is something, again, that we start. If you guys are just listening to us, hi. Two things, by the way. Number one, never read the YouTube comments. Mayor, don't do that. Never read the YouTube comments.
That's a good one. That is
the YouTube comments are the YouTube comments will make you feel worse about yourself as a human being. Generally, at least they do me. But regardless, Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. Like, I know we talk about it a lot. It is mostly for premium subscribers. If you are not, I'm still in there. If you at me, I'll almost certainly answer your question in the general chat. But there's a lot of good stuff. And what's great about this is we are at August 12th. Like, there are a lot of baseball coverage around the industry is getting less. That's just the way it is. Okay, it's getting less. But in Discord, people who watch here, people who are involved right now, like, everybody is talking baseball all the time. So it's like having like your own little baseball crew to give you advice. It's great. Again, fantasypros.com/chat. Sorry, Joe.
I'm sorry about the Discord. I don't know why I keep saying
that's okay.
Fantasypros.com.
You do a lot of reads. You do a lot of reads.
Just one or two. Yeah. One or two. But I will say this. It is really that community. Like, we're trying to grow this community. Yeah. And I will tell you, if it's, December and we got the winter meetings, we're definitely going to be, talking about stuff there and throwing things out there. If there's big signings and big trades, I'll happy to jump on there and do a stages and all that stuff and chat with everybody and the fantasy impact. So get in there if you haven't already. And you'll say, well, do I want to be in Discord? Trust me, you do. Also, yesterday, besides a big moment for Dan Harris, big moment for Miguel Cabrera, sitting on 499. Big home run for him. One more to 500. Very exciting for Miguel Cabrera. Let's get to the ups and downs. Alek Manoah allowed 2 runs on 5 hits, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts. Big win over the Angels. He's another hoss. You know how I like the hosses. Yeah. Cody Bellinger, 2 home runs. Life from Cody Bellinger at the right time. That's a good thing. And Corbin Burns struck out 15 batters over 8 scoreless innings. Boy, oh boy, was he a good pick yesterday. We talked about just start him against the Cubs. As long as it doesn't pour, it'll be fine. Well, he rained all over the Cubs yesterday. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to see myself having a lot of shares of a rotation that looks something like Lance Lynn and Alek Manoah. And that's like getting 3 pitchers in 2. You know, they got 2 big boys. That's enough right there. I want the 2 Hosses at my rotation. I like what I've seen from Manoah, and now you add him in there with Berrios, and obviously Ryu struggled last time out, so hopefully, you know, that's just a hiccup there. But, you know, Robbie Ray's been really good. This Blue Jay pitching is starting to, I think, hit at the right time, Danny.
I really like, first of all, how like your criteria as to who you want to draft in a fantasy league is like, don't give me the Mookie Betts. I'm very worried about the Mookie Betts, the little guys who are built like that. Give me the giant guys who work at Lowe's and sell me things. That's what I want. That's fun. It's a philosophy.
By the way, I saw Lance Lynn putting out the Halloween decorations there the other day. Because we got to turn the page already from all the garden stuff that's all on sale right now. All the furniture, the barbecues, that's all, everything must go. It's all about Halloween right now in Lance Lynn and Alek Manoah's world.
Yeah, Lance Lynn is a guy I respect immensely just for the way he goes about his job. But the Blue Jays, the fact, I don't know, Joe, I don't think they're going to make it this year. Like, as much as I love them, and maybe they will, that it's a big deficit, maybe, who knows. But their future is bright, man. That offense is amazing with their pitching staff now, with Ray figuring things out. Ryu is what he is. Manoah is fantastic. Look, even at this point, Matz is kind of starting to give them like decent, like 5th starter innings and stuff like that. Stripling just got injured, of course. But I hope they make it. They could be dangerous if they do make it into the playoffs.
They can be dangerous. And of course, what else is dangerous is obviously the downs, because there's always downs whenever there's ups. JT Realmuto was removed from Wednesday night's game, being struck on a foul tip there. So that's not a good thing.
By the way, that division is going to be incredible to watch, even though it's all crappy. And like the Braves are, kudos to the Braves. The Phillies are there. The Mets actually hit yesterday. It's going to be an amazing division to watch. A terrible division to watch, but amazing. I'm just gonna.
If the Braves win that division after all said and done, I'm gonna throw up in my mouth. I'm just telling you right now.
Fair enough.
It's gonna be gross. Tigers place Akil Baddoo on the 7-day concussion injured list. No surprise there. The White Sox place Carlos Rodon on the 10-day injured list. All of a sudden with left shoulder fatigue, which came out of nowhere because the last start was one of his best, arguably, of the year. And we went, okay, look, Carlos Rodon. Wow, look at this guy. Forget innings limits, all this stuff. And then what happens? We turn around a couple of days later, and here we are.
Of course.
So is this a matter of, is this the time where, hey, it's mid-August, let's pace him? Is the shoulder fatigue, you think, a real thing? Or is this just them kind of taking precautions here and giving him, a 2-week breather?
You never know, of course. So I don't want to be like, it's obviously nothing, and then the guy's like out for the season. But to me, this seems like obviously nothing. I mean, they have a 10.5 game lead in their division. It's all but done. They don't need to push their guys beyond their limits, especially a guy like Rodon, who basically has almost never pitched a ton of innings in any given season. So they're going to give him a break. It sucks that it happens now when fantasy managers had already locked him into their lineup for the week. But in terms of what you're going to see, I'm sure he'll be back in September and be as good as he was. So no concerns actually about the injury, but at the same time, you're going to be without him for at least a few weeks.
Yeah. All right, let's get to some stuff here. Remember when Dan Harris said Whit Merrifield would stop stealing bases?
Yes.
Whit Merrifield tied a franchise record for 33 straight stolen bases, by the way, before getting caught. He got caught yesterday, so there you have it.
Good call by me. Nice job.
Adam Wainwright pitched his first shutout since 2016 against the Pirates, yes, but still a shutout's a shutout is a shutout, and that is very... just commendable there from Adam Wainwright, who is 424 years old.
Does it have his numbers on the sheet, Joe? Does it have his numbers?
His stat line? Yes, it does.
Yeah, his not his stat line, his overall numbers on the, like, what's his ERA?
Oh, 327.
327, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, what I there are guys, Joe, I don't know if you do this. When I do my rest of season rankings, his whip is 106. He's striking out more than 8, his highest strikeout rate in a couple of years. It's sometimes
it's like the pandemic rejuvenated a lot of guys we thought were completely done.
Right, maybe.
Everybody took a year off from baseball, and look what happened. And it made kind of wonder if the season wasn't 162 games anymore.
Yeah.
What would Major League Baseball look like? How much longer would guys like Adam Wainwright be able to play? and Buster Posey be able to play. I mean, the grind of 162 is just a lot. And I know people are saying, well, how come it wasn't a lot on the other guys, back in the 40s and 50s and 60s and all that stuff? I don't know. I guess it's the way they train. I guess it's also baseball is a much faster, more competitive, physical game than it used to be in some ways. Not physical in terms of intimidation, but physical in terms of, what's demanded of them nowadays or expected of them in terms of speed, in terms of, workouts and all the other stuff they do. But I don't know, man. This is, I attribute Wainwright, Buster Posey, all of this, their performances this year to last season and having basically a year off in baseball.
So Tuma raised the question in the chat. I was going to raise it. Is Waino a Hall of Famer? 3.27 ERA, 106 WHIP. I mean, 178, 104.
What's his career number? That's the thing. We got to look.
That's his career number. 3.37 ERA.
So 3.37 is a career because he was 3.27. I thought.
Correct. He's 3.37 in his career. He's 121 WHIP for his career. That's kind of high. Obviously, his strikeout rate. I mean. 7.6. I'm surprised the strikeout rate is that low. 7.6.
Yeah.
9.
Yeah. Look, if Adam Wainwright made it to the Hall of Fame, I wouldn't mind, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
No. He's not in my mind.
I have a higher Hall of Fame standard than other people.
Oh, I'm aware. I've heard that.
But I'm also the guy who was like, how dare you not vote for Derek Jeter for the Hall? Like, who's that moron? I want to go slap him in his house. You do not. And there you go. Let's open the garage, let Joey P out.
I've basically let my wife, since you're leaving Joe forever and ever and ever, I've let my wife basically do whatever she wants to do with the garage door.
Dan and I are going to be on air 12 hours next Thursday together. Okay? Yeah. Like literally 12 hours straight.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some other things. Joey Votto can't be stopped. 2 more home runs. I mean, really, Joey Votto? He's up to 25 on the year.
Is he a Hall of Famer? Are you on board yet? And realistically, forget about the fact that he bounced you.
No.
Joey Votto's a Hall of Famer, dude.
Miguel Cabrera is a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Joey Votto's a nice player. Oh, God. Would you take Joey Votto in his prime over Don Mattingly?
Yes.
Ugh, wrong.
Yeah. Sorry. I would. No, but Votto's also done it longer at this point, right? I mean, Mattingly.
Yeah, I know he got hurt, but Mattingly's not a Hall of Famer either. And I think Mattingly's a better player.
Mattingly's career was cut short. That's part of what being a Hall of Famer is. Doing it. Votto is now 37 years old. He's having one of his best seasons. I mean.
But here's another guy. Do you want to attribute this also to another year off of the body for Joey Votto? Let's throw him in this pile too.
Yeah, what's funny is that what I think more about Votto is Votto just basically because he's probably one of the most cerebral players in MLB. Basically, was just like, I'm just gonna hit more homers. I've decided I'm going to make my effort.
He took too many pitches. That was always my problem with Joey Votto. Joey Votto would see more pitches than anybody in Major League Baseball. And he would walk a ton, but he'd also strike out a fair amount. He was never aggressive enough at the plate in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean his strikeout rate is a career high. Now it's 23.2%.
And that's fine. You know what? If you're going to hit 25 bombs again, but let's not.
And his walk rate is almost a career low.
Since when is 25 home runs something special? Like, why is this such a special season? It's a really great
special?
month.
It's a 417, not this year. This year it's 375, but a 417 career OBP. That's what's special, Joe. A 417 career
That's
OBP.
great.
Yeah.
But I could go up there and look at a lot of pitches too. Corbin Burns, 8 innings pitched, 15 Ks against the Cubs. Cody Bellinger, the 2 dingers, we talked about him. Sandy Alcantara bounced back from that bad start in Colorado, which we told you don't panic, so hopefully you didn't. Every Red Sox hitter yesterday was good. Kiki 3 for 5, 2 doubles. Hunter Renfroe, who's been hot lately, he is 3 for 5. Xander Bogaerts reached base 4 times. JD Martinez 5 times. By the way, talk about seasons that nobody's talking about. Jorge Polanco hit a homer yesterday and a triple. He's hitting 312 right now with a 950 OPS. He's got 20-plus bombs on the year. So, again, if he's got like 22 and Joey Votto's got 25, Jorge Polanco, let's put him in the Hall of Fame too. God. But I don't understand.
Yeah.
Is there a more under-the-radar good season than Jorge Polanco right now? Because it's been tremendous. Really tremendous.
He's been awesome. And look, this is hilarious, again, because what you and I do is analyze fantasy baseball every single day. I roster Polanco in a couple of leagues, and I've just kind of been like, in and out. Maybe I'll start him. Maybe I won't. If you had asked me, like, how's Jorge Polanco doing? Now, I know he had a huge week last week, so his numbers are a little up, especially right now. But I would have been like, I don't know, man. It's okay. I don't really care about him. Not doing all that much. Having a great season. 21 homers, as you mentioned. 9 steals, by the way. I mean...
Yeah. And Jorge Polanco's a player I've always had. I had him after all the PED suspensions. Yeah. I'm always team Jorge Polanco. I always thought he was a good player who didn't get enough credit. Yeah. And this season, especially considering what the Twins haven't done, and the pieces they've jettisoned, it's pretty impressive. And all the injuries they've had, he's been very good. Nate Eovaldi bounced back 10 Ks against the Rays, so that's a big start for him and for the Red Sox. They needed that in the worst way. His last couple starts were not very good.
To be fair, it's easy when you get 20 runs of support.
Well,
but still, no, I'm not taking anything away.
But he needed a good start.
He did.
He did. Framber Valdez, 8 Ks, 4 walks against the Rockies. Let's talk about Lewis Brinson. 2 home runs yesterday. Now, he's on a really good run lately. Last 5 games hitting 578, 3 home runs, 8 RBI. He's been a player, bounced around a while. We go back to the Milwaukee days into, the Florida days. And then it's just, he's always been a huge disappointment. He's always been kind of, I always like to put it, he looks the part. Like you look at Lewis Brinson and he comes up there and he looks in the uniform and you're like, wow, that guy must be a really good Major League Baseball player. And then he's always just too much swing and miss, never really been able to translate the athleticism over into the baseball skills. Do you think that Lewis Brinson's figured it out, or is this just an odd hot stretch at the end of the year?
I mean, I can't buy into it just yet. It's really 5 games that he's kind of gone nuts here, and he's got 11 hits or whatever. 2 of those games were in Colorado. So I'm not going crazy, but Brinson is a guy who I feel like, I don't know about you, Joe, there are always these guys who like, you're desperately looking to see something good so that you can just buy in, right? And that's what Brinson is. A guy like, this guy should be good. Like somewhere in there's going to be a hot streak. And as soon as there's a hot streak, you want to jump on it. I'm pumping the brakes for now. It's not much, but he has only played 48 games total, 138 plate appearances, but he's batting 282 with 7 home runs. That's exciting. I mean, he still doesn't take enough pitches, but no, I'd monitor it. Monitor it, but I'm not.
Somebody asked me on Twitter yesterday, would you rather have Tommy Pham rest of the season or Lewis Brinson? And I said I'm going to ride the wave with Lewis Brinson right now.
I'll take Pham.
And you were right. Pham's a better player, but right now we're talking about trying to win. So if that's the hot guy and he's doing well, I'm okay with that. Some duds from yesterday. Brady Singer returns to from the IL. 5 earned runs he gives up there, and the Yankees continue to just own the Royals. Like they've won 12 straight series against the Royals or some crazy like that. Jarren Duran all the way down to 212. He's hitting 580 OPS right now. Josh Fleming obviously got beat up 10 runs there. Trent Grisham 1 for 4 down to 235 since July 1st. Kyle Gibson didn't start, came in relief. I don't know if it was because of the rain, though. I think
it was actually. Girardi does this. I mean, I remember he did it when there's rain in the forecast. He knows there's going to be it's not a bad strategy. He holds back his pitcher and then starts him in the 3rd inning or whatever.
There you go, Joe Girardi, the thinking man's manager. All right, let's have a little fun. All right, let's have a little draft of the first round. Let's have 10 guys. And let's call it Roto to make everybody happy besides me. Let's do that. Let's call it a 5x5, 12-team league. I'm going to pick first. I'm going to take Fernando Tatis. That's where I'm going to go. It is now your selection for the number 2 pick overall in the 2022 Major League Baseball Fantasy Draft.
Okay. I'm going to assume that Acuna is probably not going to be 100% and going as crazy. I mean, probably still a first rounder, but maybe not run as much. I will go with Ohtani as my number 2. Look, what can you do at this guy? And I'm going to assume that's one player, right? So for the most part, you're starting him at hitter, but even then, that's fine. You can start him maybe a pitcher once in a while. I'm going to go with Ohtani number 2 right now.
If your league allows Ohtani to be one person and get all the fantasy goodness from both pitching and hitting, is he the number 1 overall? I think he is.
Yeah, right? I think
you're getting 2 players
actually.
In one. I mean,
if you can, move or get everything he does as one player, I think he's number 1 overall. I'm assuming that you have to choose week by week or something like, whatever, which means that you're mostly starting him as hitter. But a guy like him, who cares? I mean, it's just his pitching is gravy, but I'll take him number 2.
All right, I'm going to take Joey Votto third. No, John. I'm going to I'll take a shot on Acuna. It's a long season, and hopefully he gets back to where he should be over there, again, because of the stolen bases. But I'm pretty sure I know who's going 4 here for you.
Oh, do you?
Vladdy.
Tell me what you think. I'm tossed. This is what's funny, Joe. It's a toss up between 2. It's either Vladdy or Soto. Because again, Soto really has done nothing to kind of lose a spot. But I am going to take Vladdy. That's true. I didn't know whether or not you'd think it'd be Soto, but Vladdy is 4. But I would have no. If you're taking Soto here, I'm all for it.
Oh, I'm taking Soto at 5. Okay. There we go. Now it gets interesting. Now
for me, I know who my pick is for sure. For me,
it's Whit Merrifield.
No, it's not Whit Merrifield.
I don't know. Leading the major leagues in stolen bases, Dan Harris.
It's Adalberto Mondesi, Joe. Get with it. No, it is a guy, though. It is a guy who steals bases, and it's going to be Trey Turner, who, again, is a guy who I think you can make an argument to go basically as high as 3 overall if you wanted. So Turner, given the dearth of stolen bases, I'm going with Turner at number 6. Who's number 7 for you?
This is where the rubber hits the road right now. This is where it becoms.
I know who my guy is, but that's just me.
You could start to think about. Do you want to think about Mookie Betts? Do you want to think about Trout this early? I don't. Looking at the board, I got to tell you, and look, Turner, I get the whole Turner thing. I understand.
Turner, frankly, I'm not kidding, Joe. Turner, you can make an argument for me. Yeah. He can go as high as number 2. I think Tatis, assuming that he has
I could get Cedric Mullins, in the 2nd round, 3rd round now.
You can say that. Set. You can say that with like anybody at this point. Trey Turner is, especially if he's going to be on the Dodgers, Joe. Think about all those runs scored, man. Think about how good that's going to be. Anyway, guide number 7.
I guess Mookie. I guess
it's got to be Mookie.
I gotta say Mookie here. All right, you're up next.
I hate this. It's
so hard.
Much.
Like
this is actually where is where it gets tough. Fudge.
You're not taking DeGrom. There's no way.
I'm not. I'm thinking about it. I'm not. Well, it's hard right now because
you can't put him. You can't put him at top 10. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't.
You're going to disagree with this because you're going to say he needs to go lower. But I'm going to go with Trout.
I'm not going to disagree. I can't.
Okay, I get the injury. Of course, the injury concerns, but this is a calf. Obviously, he should be 100%. And when he plays, there's just no, he's not going to run.
Immediately take Rafael Devers right after you.
You are okay. Mm-hmm. That's funny. Rafael Devers.
No hesitation, because that was the guy I was contemplating taking over Mookie Betts anyway. But eventually the stolen bases won out. I'll roll the dice there.
Okay, so I am going to take now. We're at pick what? 10? 10? Mm-hmm. I'm going to take Jose Ramirez. Again, who's having just a very, very... Again, the stolen bases is kind of the tiebreaker for me. I think I'd probably take him over Devers, to be honest. That's where I have him. I had him over Devers coming in. So for 1 year, I'll take him. No pitchers yet, Joe. No pitchers.
There's somebody still out there who is right now in the top 5 in OPS, by the way. Okay. He's got 20 home runs, 12 stolen bases. It's Bryce Harper. Give me Bryce Harper.
Ooh, at number 11. Yeah. Yeah, I don't hate it.
Now it's the turn. And if you want to take a DeGrom shot, I'll let you do it at the turn, because then you could. But here's the thing. Now at the turn, you got to ask yourself this question: do I want to invest in the pitcher, or do I want to go with 2 big hitters here? Do I want to go with, I don't know, you want to take a Matt Olson and a Jesse Winker?
You could go. So the guys who are under consideration for me, right? Freddie Freeman is certainly under consideration because he's just basically as dominant. If Trevor Story stays in Colorado, which I don't expect, I could see basically going for him. I could think about Bo Bichette, maybe something like that. Bichette's been great. I think though I'm assuming that he doesn't have Tommy John surgery or something at the rest of the season. I am going to go DeGrom just because I realize that DeGrom has missed so much time, but they're like Trout. He's just dominant when he's on the field. So I will go with DeGrom right now. If we do have DeGrom out for the season, all right, let's say he tears his UCL, he's going to have Tommy John. He's going to be out for next year. I think I'd probably take Freeman. I don't think I'm taking pitcher. I think I'm taking Freeman.
I wouldn't take I would take Freeman and Machado or Freeman. You'll take the corners, get the corners done, something like that. Yeah. That's probably where I would.
Freeman's big thing is obviously that he doesn't steal bases, which is why I like a guy like Jose Ramirez there. But for me, still, Freeman is just so incredibly solid overall.
Listen, you're going to laugh at me, but if you took Freeman and Whit Merrifield to start your team at the bottom, I don't think that's a terrible path at all. I love Whit Merrifield. Where's Waffles or greater than 0? Are you nuts? I defended Whit Merrifield for weeks from Waffles or greater than 0 weeks. All right, so to recap: Tatis, Ohtani, Acuna, Vlad, Soto, Trey Turner, Mookie Betts, Trout, Devers, Ramirez, Harper, DeGrom. That sounds pretty spot on to me again.
That's pretty great.
I think that's very good. I'll post this in the Discord chat, fantasypros.com/chat.
Nice.
By the way, if you want to get that. And also, if you want to make sure you understand about the 1-1 when it comes to trimming your body hair, that's, of course, the Lawnmower 4.0. It's not a 4th-round draft pick. No. It's a first-rounder. It's a legit 1-1, and so are all the products over at Manscaped. Use that code leading off. Get 20% off and free shipping. Again, they got the Weed Whacker, the ball deodorant, the crop reviver, all of those things in the performance package 4.0, and of course the lawnmower with the battery length that lasts forever and ever, with the 4K LED light, the advanced skin safe technology, all of the goodies for you, for your goodies. But you have to go to manscaped.com to get them. Make sure you use that code leading off in order to do that. Again, manscaped.com, leading off your balls. Well, thank you. Mookie Betts did go on the IL, which we did touch on. Josh Hader returning Thursday, so that's good news there. Alex Bregman, quad, could resume AAA rehab assignment on the weekend. We'll keep an eye on that. Obviously, that's a big one too. Ian Anderson allowed 3 earned runs and 3 innings pitched in a rehab assignment, so just a good idea for him. And Matt Barnes, who we talked about at length yesterday, getting a couple of days off, which seems like a good thing. I think maybe it's just a little fatigue setting in at this point.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I think that just giving him a mental breather. Cora said he's going to remain the closer and everything like that. I think that's right. He's just been in a little bit of a funk, which nearly every closer gets into. So I'm not overly concerned. Dropped him a little bit in my rest of season rankings, but I still expect him to dominate the save chances.
All right, a bunch of people yesterday had 2 dingers from Springer, not just Dan Harris, but Smalls Lawnmower Man 4.4. The Clown Prince 13 made his first home run call. Congratulations. Ooh. And told Dan he would do his best to keep his numbers down. He has 15 homers since June 24th. So there you go. Dan Harris, I'll do my best to keep my numbers down until I'm more established.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I appreciate
all right,
it.
Then. I'm still at the top of the board. I kind of mad that I didn't have Springer yesterday. But I'm glad, because if I put Springer in, Dan wouldn't have put Springer. Correct?
That's true.
If you had gotten up tomorrow morning and you saw Springer, you go, no, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to do it.
And we have it today. You took the guy I was going to choose. So I took another guy. It's fine. I live with these rules, Joe.
But it's okay once in a while to go together.
It is, but I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
Could have been fun yesterday.
Not doing it.
But no. All right. There's only like 4 games, including the Field of Dreams game. So I, of course, am going to go there for my home run in a moment. But first, only a couple games on the slate. Yu Darvish, 9-2 on FanDuel, 9-5 on DK. In terms of other pitchers, of course, where you think I'm going. Lance Lynn, 10.3, baby, in the corn. The big hoss in the cornfield. Oh, what a picture that's going to be in the old-timey uniform. And nobody's going to fill out that old-timey White Sox uniform better than Lance Lynn, okay? I'm telling you right now, there's a good chance Lance Lynn is also on the take from some sort of 20s gangster right now in that uniform. It is fantastic. By the way, 8 Men Out, one of the most underrated baseball movies ever. I love that movie. Such a good movie.
I like it.
Go run to the streaming services and go find it somewhere. I can't say run to the video store. I wish I could, but I can't.
No.
By the way, that Field of Dreams game is not on the DK slate. It's on the main slate on FanDuel. So it's on the main slate. We can call home runs from that tonight. The slate's all over the place because there's a million different times of games today. So secondary arm, Herman Marquez at 6.9 on DK. I do like that. Look, Yu Darvish is a really good opportunity here against Taylor Widener and the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's hard to fade off of him. It's him and Lynn. Interchange, play some fun. Jose Barrios is going head-to-head with Shohei Ohtani. Get this, 8-5 for Barrios on FanDuel, 8-8 on DK. Okay, fine. For Ohtani, 10-1 on FanDuel, 8.2 on DK. Big variance there. Are you interested in going and taking a shot on one of these guys in a GPP tonight?
I will say that I had a dream last night. I cannot tell you why. That Jose Barrios allowed 10 runs to the Angels. That's what I'm dreaming about right now. So make of that what you will.
If you dream it will come.
That's true. It's perfect for today. I probably would, absent the dream, which I now can't pull the trigger on because of it. I would probably go with Barrios. I'm probably not taking Ohtani as good as he is against a team like the Blue Jays. I feel fine with Barrios, just given what that lineup is right now for the Angels. So I'd be fine with it. Obviously, you're going Lynn for your cash game arm, but you have to pivot because he's going to be so.
You can go you. You can only go Lynn on FanDuel. You is the guy on DK because of the way it's structured tonight.
I would go with you regardless, to be honest. Just be on FanDuel. Also, he's got a what is he, like $1,000 cheaper or something like that, $1,100 cheaper. So I'd probably just go with him anyway. But I'm fine with Barrios in a tournament.
Yeah. Ohtani way cheaper on DK. Very weird.
He is, right?
I love that you're having panic dreams about Jose Barrios.
Isn't that crazy? Who has a panic dream about Jose Barrios? Who, I mean, I have shares. It's not like it's going to kill one of my fantasy teams.
He hasn't given up an earned run yet, so now he's going to give up 10.
I don't know. Yeah. But I woke up in a panic. Like, oh no, 10 runs. This job makes you do weird things.
Yes, it does. This is why you should get a good night's sleep. Will Myers, 2.6. These are your lineup builders on FanDuel. Will Myers 2.6, Adam Frazier 2.8, Joe Adell 2.3. On DK, Samuel Hilliard at 2.5 and Joe Adell at 3.2. Tonight, let's go with Jose Abreu off Andrew Heaney into the corn. Lock it up. Let's go. Crushes lefties. And you're a home run call today, Mr. Harris?
Yeah, that was a good call. There really actually isn't. That was the way to go. There isn't that many great spots right now, as we talked about. Pretty much every pitcher who's going tonight is decent at the very least. But I'm going to Machado off of Taylor Widener just because. Why not? That's it. That's my rationale. Why not? Why not?
Tomorrow, make sure you join us. This will be Dan and myself's last show together for leading off for this season. For just this season. Relax. My goodness.
Just this season?
Fine.
Well,
that's what I've been told. Although I still haven't gotten that contract renewal. So I'm still waiting on that. Dan said it was going to fax it to me.
In the mail.
I don't have a fax machine. And he said, no, that's why I'm sending it to you via fax, because you don't have a fax machine. And I said, okay. And then I tried to hook up my printer that way, and it exploded. It was weird. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But again, just want to thank everybody, as always, for tuning in, listening to the program, and make sure, again, that you go over there and join the Discord over at fantasypros.com/chat. I can't do that. I don't know why. What's wrong with me? I am hitting a wall, and it's already only 9:30. But that's okay. So enjoy the baseball tonight. Dan, final thoughts? Are you going to be watching the Field of Dreams game?
I am. I'm going to watch the Field of Dreams game tonight. Yes, it's going to be very exciting. And Field of Dreams, of course, I think Mayer said it came out 20 years before Tuma was born. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's an old movie. Want to show the kids. It's going to be a lot of fun to do it. And this was fun to redraft, to draft next year's first round. I'm going to love it when we do it again in December. There you go, Mr. Buster. How you doing?
Yeah, and Mr. Buster, I met your requirements, by the way.
Oh, you did?
In the show, I said, make a round, because in December, I will be on there doing stages around the winter meetings and things like that. Right? Yeah. I did, and I just said how much I loved your Jose Barrio. So I don't know if he's taking shots.
I don't know
this or what he's doing.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna love redrafting the first round for next year. When we do it again in December. By
the way, did you see the batter's eye in Field of Dreams is a barn? Did you see that?
I haven't. I mean, I saw
they did a really nice job on the field. It looks very cool. You got to check it out. Fun fact before we go: who was originally thought of to play the lead part before Kevin Costner took it over? Do you know, Dan Harris?
No. Do I get a hint?
You don't have to. Sure. He's a big actor.
I got nothing. Who is it?
Tom Hanks.
Oh, big. I was thinking Tom Hanks would not have been. That's not a Tom.
That's not Voices in the Corn.
That's not a 1989 Tom Hanks version. No, also, the great thing about Kevin Costner, and again, I love the movie Bull Durham as well, is that Costner is so athletic, right? Like he's so very net. Like you could buy that he was probably a kid growing up who had a chance to be a real baseball player and then quit because of his father. 100%. You can buy that. Like the way he swings, the way he hits fly balls to, Shoeless Joe Jackson, he was a perfect choice for that.
All right. Dan and I are going to go have a catch right now. In the meantime, we'll be back again tomorrow to do it all again. For Double Dinger Dan Harris, I'm Joe Pisapia. We will see you next time, kids.